The meeting of the mayor and board of aldermen for Tuesday, August the 18th. For once that I can remember ever, we have no changes or additions or deletions from the agenda. Did I miss anything? No? All right. Could I have a motion to adopt the agenda as printed? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? I will start with a really exciting announcement that I found out about an hour ago. Travel and Leisure just named us the best small college town in the U.S. So that is pretty exciting news. Congratulations to, we've got some university representatives here tonight, so congratulations to y'all, and we are proud to share the honor. The thing that seems to be the most talked about city topic right now are the new parking pay stations. I know they have been just a huge hit so far. I've decided that whoever does parking meters is the same people that do the iPhones, and so they make sure about every 4 or 5 years that everything in them goes wrong, so you have to get new ones. So those of you who have experienced the parking meters where you show up and it's not working, or where the screen is so light you can't read it in the bright sun, or all of those things, your woes will be now fixed because we have parking pay stations. These parking pay stations work the same as the ones that have been in the parking lots all of this time. So you actually can still put your coins in. I've seen a lot of chatter online about you can't put your coins in anymore. You absolutely can put your coins in. You can put your card in. You can get the app on your phone, or you can text to pay. The text to pay option is a new option. The two things you need to know is what zone am I in, and there are plenty of signs to tell you, and you need to know what your car tag number is, because you're going to have to put that in. So everybody take a picture of your car tag when you go out tonight and have that on your phone, so you don't get mad when you walk to a kiosk and it's 110 degrees and you didn't get your tag number. So that is what's new and exciting on what's happening in Oxford site. And so that's it for Mayor's report. We are working hard on the budget. We will approve that in the coming weeks. And appreciate all the hard work that our department heads and others have put in there. So with that, let's start with the Financial Administration Office request to approve the minutes of the recessed Board of Aldermen meeting on August 3rd.
Approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting on August 4th.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve the accounts for all city departments.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request approval for emergency purchases made as a result of Winter Storm Fern, which occurred January 23rd through the 26th.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request permission to approve a list of budget amendments and reallocations, and Allison Garner is here to answer any questions that you have about that. It was in your packet, but I'll let her give a brief overview and then she can answer any questions.
So basically, the proposed budget amendments we have right now are basically corrective and administrative in nature. There's on the first page, there's fund and accounting corrections that need to be made to ensure that the budget was recorded properly. The bond payment allocations needed to establish the appropriate funds so we could allocate those correctly. And then the Winter Storm Fern account was for the emergency expenses of the unanticipated disaster cost and the recovery funding. And then there's an out transit correction to align the budget with the amount that was originally intended. And then the building and grounds reallocation was just to redistribute those existing expenses and revenue among the sub departments after we restructured that. So that's basically a summary of what you have on page 93 through 97 of the amendments. Any questions?
Does anybody have any questions? All right, could I have a motion then to approve that list of budget amendments and reallocations?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now I'll ask you to consider the consent agenda.
Motion to consider the consent agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I will ask Chief Joey Gardner to come up, and then after he reads this retirement resolution for Chief Inspector William Stewart from the Oxford Fire Department, I will then ask this board to adopt that retirement resolution. You thought you were getting out of this, didn't you, William?
I thought you were going to just be able to sit there, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So, whereas Chief Inspector William Stewart has faithfully served the city of Oxford and the Oxford Fire Department for 25 years, and whereas Throughout his distinguished career, Chief Inspector Stewart has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to protecting the lives, property, and safety of the citizens of Oxford. And whereas Chief Inspector Stewart has served with professionalism, integrity, courage, and dedication, earning the respect of the administration, of his fellow firefighters, city employees, and the community he has served. And whereas after 25 years of honorable service, Chief Inspector William Stewart is retiring from the Oxford Fire Department, ending his remarkable career dedicated to public service and safety. Whereas the city of Oxford recognizes the contributions of Chief Inspector Stewart extend far beyond the years of service and will continue to benefit the department and the community for years to come. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Oxford hereby express their sincere appreciation and gratitude to Chief Inspector William Stewart for his years of service, of faithful, dedicated, honorable service to the Oxford Fire Department and the citizens of Oxford. Therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Oxford express their lasting expression of appreciation to Chief Inspector William Stewart.
I'd like to thank y'all. It's been a great experience working here. Y'all have been so gracious. Anytime I ask to do something, go somewhere, y'all are always so helpful. Anytime I came up with an idea for anything, y'all are always there supporting. I appreciate it.
Well,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you. It's a lot of institutional knowledge walking out the door with you. And we appreciate the time and service that you've given the city. We appreciate your common sense approach always to things and your sense of fairness and integrity. And you will very much be missed. Thank you. We are going to skip 4B. Pam Swain is running late. So, oh, did she come in? Okay. Okay, good. All right. Yeah. So could I have a motion to adopt the retirement resolution?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, you got in here quicker. Come on up.
Sorry, I stopped on my way coming in.
Somebody ought to do something about the traffic.
It seems to be on the increase.
I know. Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for letting me be here today. And
Yes.
I have Jonathan and Katie, are y'all with us? Okay, so we are coming to you just to tell you a little bit about a campaign that we're working on. It is called Paint the Town Gold, which is kind of welcome to the Golding era, in conjunction with the first home game. Sorry.
She ran up the steps.
Oh, yeah.
I texted her. I was like, where are you?
Good, she catch my breath. But the idea is to create a unified Oxford and University community for the launch of the first game, which is obviously in Nashville. And so create a community-wide Oxford celebration around Ole Miss football and the Golding era, turning it into a community gold, building momentum, leading up to the Nashville game. Our community partners, our Oxford Marketing Company, they had come to us with this idea and asked us to be their partner in launching it, just to help it get some footing through the Chamber's social media platforms. And we thought it was a great idea for our community. We love to bring our community together any which way we can. So Jonathan and Katie had the idea, and they've talked with Chancellor Boyce and with Ole Miss Athletics about the idea. What we would do is wash the town in gold leading up to the first game with yard signs, making visual centerpiece in the square with encouraging our businesses to decorate with gold, just really kind of embracing the moment that Ole Miss football has with this first season ahead of us, and making our town come together with the university, which, you know, with the traffic that we see right now, we know we love our university and all that it brings to us. So being a part of this and encouraging our businesses to decorate their windows, their doors, with streamers, you know, paint safe window graphics, pom-poms, and things that are themed around the golden era. Also, we would be hanging some banners around, so we would get permission. I know the Oxford Marketing Co. has been working on some banners and yard signs, and they're going to work on the application, thank you, the permits for those to get those approved, wherever we might could hang those, just to kind of bring it all together. But it will all culminate with the week leading up. It will culminate with a parade and team send off on Saturday, September the 5th. This will coordinate around the team's travel departure schedule to head for Nashville, which we have been told is going to be on Saturday morning, somewhere around noon. And we want to bring students, residents, families, businesses all together with a town awash in gold that morning, sending them off. We also visualize this as something that hopefully the media, even national media, will take and run with the way that we hope it will look. We're going to create some designated photo areas, some designated video moments for the campaign so that it can gain lots of social media coverage for our community. So as far as our community engagement with it and our marketing, we're going to do a social media countdown leading up to the weekend of the event. We are considering adding things like suggested business toolkit for those who might want some ideas on what to do, maybe a scavenger hunt of our businesses to increase retail and restaurant traction for our tax base. And then, of course, we encourage any of our retailers to have golden gear, which many of them already do, and then participate in the photo campaign and the hashtag. So basically, then Oxford does not simply send the rebels off to Nashville. The entire town sends them off. The entire community paints the town gold, and it should feel like a coordinated effort that is based in the square with our storefronts and all of our local residents cheering around our golden team.
Thank you. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. You'll see at 5H, Chief McCutcheon will present the parade permit that Pam's referring to. And we've talked about, I mean, some of the things that she's presenting will need permits for banners and things like that. And so, my request, and I've already said this to Pam in Oxford Marketing when we talked, but is that this not be something that we have streamers that blow all over the square the week after and balloon arches that pop and there's confetti everywhere and the things that this is my job to be the wet blanket.
Right.
But that's what we end up with a week after something that's a very fun celebration that day, and then Building and Grounds is trying to figure out how to get the confetti out of the pea gravel sidewalks.
I understand.
So
Absolutely.
we would request no confetti.
No confetti. And
If the board approves this, we would
balloon arches would be
say,
up to individual businesses on their own to get their own permitting. That's not something
Yes.
we're encouraging. So.
well, yes. Anything else, Ben, that would require a permit besides the banners? There's really not. Yeah. You were talking about doing yard signs, right?
Yes, they've put together some yard signs, and so those will be, just encouraged to be put around the community, no more than is allowed according to the permission.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Pam?
Will residents purchase the yard signs or?
Right now they've been sponsored, so I don't think we'll have to sell them.
If there are no questions, is there a motion to allow them to go forward with this campaign?
So moved.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Next on our agenda is to consider an appointment to the Oxford Lafayette Economic Development Foundation, which is now OLINK. I recommend to you Bill Turner for being appointed to that board.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to accept the RATP Dev one-year extension to the existing contract for Oxford University Transit. Donna?
So RATP Dev is the management contract that the city has hired to manage the university transit, public transit system. It's a 3-year contract with 2 one-year extensions, and this is the second of the 1-year extension. So we are requesting that, please keep me on for another year. For the mayor to sign the.
Does anybody have any
one-year
questions?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Seth Gaines, come give us a Q3 report on the Oxford Park Commission.
Thank y'all for allowing me to.
It's a good day to be in the city pool.
Mayor, I keep looking around and figuring out at some point you're going to leave these offices up there and come see us down there. So holding out
It's
hope.
going to need to be about 20 degrees cooler.
obviously, when you get into these months, you know, what you're going to be seeing here is April, May, June. So that's easing into the summer. But some of the things that I'm really proud of that we did this year. First year we offered the Summer Co-Ed Kickball League. We had 80 kids out of a new program this year to do that. Also, the first in the state to offer a girls flag football recreational program. We had that this year for dedicated to girls only. That was 47 girls that we had come in and play that this year. And I was out there seeing those a couple of times. It was really fun to watch those girls. In the past, we've had some girls in the boys program, but they did come out and had their own program this year. It was really fun to watch. And the kickball was too, but football was special. Intern hours, I always try to find out different things to do to be able to man all of these programs and things that we run. In the spring semester, you know, we had 1,960 hours. I'm not sure I brought that to y'all last time, so I wanted to highlight that. We did not have interns over the summer. Rentals this quarter, there was 128 between, you know, the pavilions, the centers, fields, rooms, and stuff like that we do. So a good quarter. So thus far in this fiscal year, there's been 316, but 128 in this quarter. This quarter also, LLO classes, 5,426 as of the end of June. And then for the year, for the fiscal year right now, 14,894 folks come in, register for classes there. New gymnastics group, as we had talked about, we went with that through the months of April, May, and June. We had 132, 187, and 182, up from around 77 the last semester of 2025. And wrestling this year had 103 people over the summer registration, which is the largest we've ever had for wrestling program. A couple more things here. Summer kids day camp. Of course, I don't have my July numbers here, but just through the last week of May and the 4 weeks of June this year, there was 710 kids that had signed up between those 5 weeks. So 710 weeks of registration, 710 kids that we dealt with over those 5 weeks, and those numbers will stay the same for the next month. And then, of course, probably the best thing of all of it is getting Avent Park Playground back open this time. So that did happen this quarter as well. So
we've got shade structures on the way.
That's right.
That's the one thing that people have emailed about. They've said, we love the park, we need some shade, and they are on their way.
Yeah, they are. I know that we'll be proud to have shade out there. Everybody will in all the heat. So I'm happy to answer any other questions if you've got them. But I just wanted to hit a few highlights.
Great work by you and your staff.
Thank you very much.
You may have any questions for Seth? All right, thank you, sir. Next, we'll have a second reading and public hearing of a proposed ordinance amending Chapter 87, Neighborhood Code Enforcement, composition and terms of the Code of Ordinances for the City of Oxford.
Yes, ma'am. This one is pretty simple. It is just changing the language that our residents must use the garbage cans that we issue that work with our automated side-load garbage trucks.
All right, so this is a second reading and public hearing on that proposed ordinance amendment. Is there anyone here to speak on that ordinance change? All right, seeing none, does the board wish to vote?
That we approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Second reading and public hearing of a proposed ordinance amending Chapter 94, Solid Waste, composition and terms of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Oxford.
Yes, ma'am. This is for our fees for residential and commercial service, along with our roll-off. As discussed in the last meeting, we had some increases in the past years. And the last time we went up on residential was in 2022, and that was actually just, we went up $1. Seeing that we need these increases, since 2018, a garbage truck was $200,000. And now we're looking at a garbage truck price tag of $280,000. Inflation and fuel and pretty much everything that we do.
Well,
So
and an
that's why
ice storm that wore our equipment out as well.
So we're seeking a rate increase, and I'm happy to answer any questions that y'all may have.
All right, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak on this ordinance change? All right, we hate raising rates ever on anything. I think it's important to note that with the growth of the community, the increase in purchases of gas, yes, for trucks, of the equipment, the addition of all of the garbage cans, the roll-offs, the dumpsters, the extra miles that we're covering now and new developments, it's just necessary to meet. It's necessary for us to be able to keep the equipment that we need to offer 2-day-a-week trash service and rubbish pickup and recycling. So, board, there are no comments. Do you wish to vote tonight or?
Yes.
Wait,
Move
okay.
we approve.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amberlyn. All right, Chief, request permission for the Chief of Police to sign an agreement with Zero Eyes.
Yes, ma'am. As we discussed last week, this is simply a first alert system that is already attached to some of our existing cameras. This is something that will also have a human review element before a complete dispatch is sent out. Again, it's strictly for brandished weapon detection. Yes, ma'am. So if a select camera picked up with someone that camera perceived to have a weapon, then we would, and there's a select number, a very small number of individuals will get an alert on their phone, picture where that camera is, time, date, all those things. We'll know immediately, is that a false alert or is that a real person with a weapon? We'll know where to send officers to immediately. It's not a guesswork. We're not waiting for the call. It's very proactive in this technology.
Any other questions from the board?
We made the changes discussed about the term. It's only for 1 year, right?
Correct. Yes, sir.
This is the grant.
This is a grant. This does not come out of our budget or the city's numbers. We applied for this through the state's Homeland Security grant.
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for the Community Church of Oxford to host a Christmas Eve celebration on December 24th from 3:30 to 7.
Yes, ma'am. We've done this several times. It's no issue on this.
Move we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for the Junior League of Oxford to host the Find the Good Day event on September the 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yes, ma'am. No issues.
Thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for the Ole Miss Student Union to host the Ole Miss Homecoming Parade on October 16th from 5 to 6.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for Visit Oxford to host Scoop on Tourism on August 21st from 2 to 5 p.m. Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for Visit Oxford to host the Square Christmas Lighting on November the 12th from 2 to 7.
So moved.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for Nicholas Ayer to host a 5K on October the 3rd from 9 a.m. to 12 noon.
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
Is there,
No issue. We do this. We've done this
Yeah.
last several years.
yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
All right, and then the last is the parade assembly permit for the Paint the Town Gold send-off parade that Pam Swain just mentioned. Yeah, we did. Oh, did we not? Did I not vote on it?
No.
We didn't vote. Nick.
Oh, okay, you had a motion, a second. Okay, I'm sorry, on 5G, all in favor? Any opposed? The next is the parade permit for the Paint the Town Gold send-off.
Yes, ma'am. So from athletics to the square and then back out to the highway. So no issues on our end.
And just that time probably needs to be flexible on actual departure.
I think it will be on their end, and so we'll work with their team, and we've already got a detailed list. I think we sent that to Ms. Pam, so she knows how many officers we're going to need to staff that. So it's doable.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Robert. Robert's requesting approval for case 3386, preliminary plat for Brewers Walk, requested by Dalton Lincoln for property located at 3110 Jeff Davis Extended, PPIN 15612.
Okay, subject property is about 6 acres at the corner of Jeff Davis Extended in Kennet. Applicant is seeking to subdivide the property into 8 residential lots with a 9th lot that includes the existing house. Those lots meet the dimensional standards for suburban residential, and no structures are proposed at this time. Engineer provided comments in the attached staff report regarding stormwater management. The August Planning Commission meeting, the commission recommended approval with the 4 conditions in the staff report. The staff recommends approval with the 4 conditions.
I'm just flipping through the report real quick to see what it says on stormwater. We good with stormwater on that? 'Cause everything kind of runs downhill to.
Yes, sir.
the
The
neighbors
developer
below.
requested, rather than doing regional detention, to do site by site. So each lot will have to come in and do their own site-specific stormwater management plan before they get a building permit.
I mean, that's just one of my concerns sometimes on stormwater. We get in there and we do the plat, we do stormwater, and it's not maintained during construction. The neighbors downhill, downstream suffer during
Yes, sir.
construction because it's not being
Yes, sir.
maintained until the final stormwater detention.
Right.
Is
These
there and
lots,
everything.
they'll have to supply their own designs before we even grant them a building permit. So it'll work a lot better than one regional pond for the whole development to look after.
That's my biggest concern, is just knowing that, it's low lying ground below it and everything will flow down. So I'll make a motion to approve, as long as we take care of stormwater.
All in favor? Any opposed? Consider change order number 1 from AS Forney Construction for the IPF renovation project. Mark?
Yes, ma'am. Change order number 1 for the IPF. These are 2 small items. The first item has to do with the steel columns and bracings necessary to support some new stairs that are going to the 2nd floor there. We did have an allowance, so we will get this money recouped at the end. That was $3,795. The second item was we have to relocate the cross bracing on the structure itself, the X that kind of keeps the building from twisting. We're going to move that to put a new storefront in, and actually the architect's going to cover that in the area of submission. So the change order is for $5,489, but we will get this back at the end. But in order to keep the schedule, we need to go ahead and approve this.
Right. Right, any questions?
So moved.
All in favor? Any opposed? Consider change order number 7 from Century Construction for the City Hall renovation project.
This is the final change order for this building, the renovation of this building. As you'll remember, we completed this substantially back in March, and we've been working through some closeout items, including a few last-minute changes, the basement steps, and a few small things that we had at the very end. So this closed the book on the contract, the construction contract. The largest addition was the additional millwork in the finance office. We had some drawings that we made some modifications to. The final materials actually exceeded the original allowance, so we were able to reconcile some of that. This net change order is $6,307, which brings the final cost of the project to $1,811,075 and a few cents. So with this approval, we can move on from this project and close the book. Just asking for permission to approve this final change order.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right, first reading of an ordinance amending portions of Article 17 of the Oxford Code of Ordinances related to game day parking rates, pay stations, and rental car violations.
So again, this is the first reading to several amendments. Some are small, some are a little larger, to the downtown parking ordinance, which is Article 17, Section 102. And we spent a good bit of time over the past several weeks and months looking at the downtown parking in general and some of the changes you're seeing right now. But in particular, we looked at what happens on football game days. We've spoken with several local business owners. We actually met with them. Alderman Halsey was there at that meeting. And I think it's important to distinguish what we're trying to accomplish on a game day versus a normal day of parking. On football games day, we're dealing with incredibly high demand, which is no secret. The limited amount of spacing is creating an issue with turnover.
And our most valuable spaces are becoming all-day parking, which is these around the square here. The proposed ordinance is it's intended to address that by a couple ways. What we're proposing to do is make the first 3 hours $5 an hour. So an hourly rate right now is $1.25, no matter what time of day you put in. On game days in particular, this amendment would make the first 3 hours $5. On the next hour and every hour thereafter would be $15 an hour. So the idea was, and again, this is on the recommendation of some of the local business owners, would be that someone wants to come to eat dinner, spend a little time, shop, and then move on. They can do that within a 3 hour period. Again, after those first 3 hours, the rates increase. We think that gives people a choice, because we will continue to have off-street lots at 75 cents an hour. We will continue to have free parking at the garage, at the water tower lots. But these premium spaces, again, if you want to stay there all day, you can do that. You just got to pay the increased rate. In addition to that, the violation would go up to $101. I think it's 51 now, so doubling the price of the violation. Again, I still think people are going to park there all day at times. It may persuade a few people not to, but this is what we're proposing. So
And it's not really what the city's proposing. This is what the group of business owners, and Mark may want to speak to that because he hosted a meeting of all the downtown business owners. So maybe speak to that.
I'll be glad to. So part of the issue is zero turnover on the premium parking places on game day. People pull in $1.25 an hour, work for 10, 12 hours, and it costs them $20, and they're there all day long. Well, the market parking rate on game day is $50 to $100, if not $200 on big games. So first of all, we're not getting turnover, and secondly, we're well below premium market rate. So how do we get some turnover? And that's where we talked about the 3 hours. If you want to go to dinner, you want to go shopping, 2 to 3 hours is generally enough, allows you enough time for that. So that gets the person that wants to come visit and shop, gets them that 3 hour parking is still a reasonable rate, cheaper than what you would pay on some of the other lots in town on game day. Then after that, the additional rate kicks in to $15 an hour to get it closer to the market rate for a football day. The reason for the increased fine is if you go to increased parking, some people say, I'm not going to park, I'll just pay the $50 fine instead of paying the market rate. So that's why the fine had to increase. And then through that discussion, collecting the money from rental cars has become a real issue. So we wanted to tighten up that language a little bit.
That's one of the
one of the things, one of the amendments where we had some teeth in it where we could go after the person that rented the car, and if they won't pay it, it goes back to the rental car. Because a lot of he had a stack of tickets that rental car people knew they were in a rental car and they just wouldn't pay to park. They'd get a ticket.
And it was several for game day. I think 60, 70 per game.
No doubt.
Will there be signage on game days that says parking amounts change? Or do the meters have the ability to, or
the meters, the pay stations will have the ability.
Okay.
And that's one reason we needed the kiosk in place to be able to do this.
We don't have the rates posted now. We just say pay to park, go to the kiosk, or text to pay, or mobile payout. Those will all be updated if you decide to move forward with this.
Okay, this is just a first reading. We'll have to have a second reading and public hearing at our next meeting. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
And Mark. A request to approve change order number 2 for the M-Trade Wells number 1 and number 2 project. John?
Yes, ma'am. So we had to deepen the wells a few feet. This change order is an increase of about $9,000. This is one of our NCWI projects, so we'll be reimbursed for this, but we just had to go a little bit deeper to get the flow we needed coming out of those wells.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Consider the request from Live Oak Contracting to allow early morning concrete pours on various dates in August and September for the Finn development.
So this is the Finn development, which is at the end of Landis Road and on Old Taylor Road. They have requested
Oh, I did.
to,
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed a change order.
okay.
Well, we're going to do that. You can go on and finish.
Yeah,
We'll
sure.
back up.
Like everybody else around town right now, they're requesting to start pouring concrete at 3 a.m. to beat the heat. And they've got their dates proposed there.
Well, it just says various dates. So,
Oh, I'm sorry, is it not on the memo?
20th, 21st, 26th, 27th, 28th.
okay, on the memo, just not. the-
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is your take on that, board?
You will find a lot of objections.
We did Old Taylor Road by,
Landis Road is about 8 homes,
Mhm.
and it's tight on them. They have a lot of construction traffic flowing over through there already. That's just, you're gonna have objections to it. And that's, I guess if it comes to that, it needs to be revocable.
Sure. Yeah, and I think that's what we've done in the past is approve it with some contingency that if people start waking up and calling us at 3 or 4 a.m. that we cut the
Or they'll
permission
call
off.
me.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's fine. Certainly, okay. Just to let you know. And
So-
let the contractor know that it's revocable and will be highly objectionable, I guess, at some point in time. I expect it to be.
So an alternative though, if they don't pour early, it still gets hot late morning. That means that there are more pours more often, that they have to start at 7 and stop the pour by 10 because of the heat. I'm just saying that they may deal with more trucks longer.
Sure.
You know, some of this, we said, let's get it done.
I agree.
And so I don't know what's their alternative because of the heat. It's still gonna be hot. They can't pour
Yeah.
at certain temperatures. That just means that their pour time is shorter each day.
Well, yes, sir. That, and it means they have to do a lot extra to keep the concrete cured, which will also slow the project down. But yeah, those are certainly things to take into consideration.
All right, well, the request is before you, so we either need a motion or we'll move along. All right,
I'll make a motion to approve with the typical contingencies of developing it with the complaint.
I'll second it. I mean, I think getting it over with is fine. I'm just, I'm okay with it. It's just at some point in time, if they object, then I'll come to the board and ask them to do the vote.
all right, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? If you will,
John has a good. Does he not?
yes, he does.
Yes. Yeah, so it's part of, that goes with, along with your motion. If we get complaints, then Jonathan and I will
It's
get together.
immediately
and
revoked.
Stop them, yeah.
Request to approve, back up to 8B, request to approve change order number 1 and final for the Old Taylor Road Water Distribution Project.
Yes, ma'am. So they encountered a lot of unsuitable soils for backfill while we were doing this project. So this is a final quantity change order that increases the contract amount $78,410. This project is not being funded by the city. This project is being paid for by the owner developer of the Finn. The water main required to be upgraded in order to serve their development at the end of Landis Road. So that was the whole reason for this project. So the bill is being footed by them.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Consider the request from the University of Mississippi to close a portion of the sidewalk along the west side of Gertrude Ford Boulevard for approximately 24 months due to a construction project. John?
So this is the new School of Accountancy, which is about to get started. I came to you last meeting with this, and there was a request for a pedestrian detour plan, which they have provided. What they are showing to be done is really a couple of things. One, they want to move pedestrian traffic to the bike lane on the east side of the road. And what they'll do is they'll put up jersey barriers on that stripe line between the bike lane and the traffic lane to delineate pedestrian from vehicular traffic. And they'll do that from that crosswalk there where you turn to go up to the Ole Miss Inn, all the way down to the mechanical building where the sidewalk currently stops. The other detour they have shown would carry people up through Gertrude Ford parking lot, across University, down Old Taylor Road to the sidewalk. So there are options, but they are specifically on the Gertrude Ford pedestrian detour. That's a big one. But that project is going to last for about 2 years, so it's going to be an extended.
Does it have to be closed the whole 2 years? It's a long time.
Got a sidewalk all the way up the entrance of the parking lot of Gertrude Ford Center. I don't know how long, I'm looking at it on the phone, so I don't know how long that stretch is, but I hate to do it for two years. And I don't know if there could be something where we do a sidewalk on the other side to help with the pedestrian. To get to the point where y'all are stopping the construction fence is, and then have a pedestrian cross over. That's something we could look at.
John, is it one or the other or both?
That's really a y'all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
From
Yeah.
a safety standpoint.
From a safety standpoint, if
Well, one of them's so inconvenient that nobody's going to do it. It's maybe the safest, but you're going to have to hold a gun to my head to make me do it.
yeah.
No, but the one that goes along the bike lane
Right.
with the jersey barriers is
Yeah.
the most convenient.
Right.
And you have the jersey barriers there as your safety. I mean, those are your water filled, like a concrete barrier, but the water filled.
When do they plan to close the sidewalk? Now? Tomorrow?
Not quite tomorrow.
Okay.
I would say within the next few days. And really, it's really how quickly we get the third area. We will do the contract that's on with that. It's just a matter of how quickly.
I mean, I think the jersey barriers are the best alternative.
I think they're the best alternative, but I'd like to see a sidewalk there, because we're talking 2 years.
That's right. I think there's some opportunities to develop some sidewalks on the east side, potentially. And I think there's some other opportunities there, to help with pathways, pedestrian pathways along. I'd really like to look at that.
I don't mind doing the bike lane jerseys until we can get something in place. And
I think that would be.
What falls on the pathways plan? Where does all this fall in?
Well, if you recall, in the Parks and Trails Master Plan, we looked at a longer-term fix of taking the 2 bike lanes and actually putting them over on the one side and having a wider pedestrian easement and having those protected by a curb, maybe some sort of landscaping, and then you just have the 2 vehicles And that would actually be more on the east side. We have had conversations about with this project of actually maybe going ahead and implementing that portion, as a permanent solution. So conversations that we've already had, we just haven't gotten there.
I mean, just from a logistics standpoint, though, it's difficult to do construction of a new sidewalk and pedestrian path while you're using that as a temporary.
This would be on the other side that you're closing right now. It would be on that
It
side.
would be on the west side.
It would be on the west side.
Okay, I thought you said east. So,
Take the,
okay,
bike lane that's on the east and move it over to the west.
okay.
Even if you have the bike lane with the jerseys, you would still construct a regular sidewalk on that Gertrude Ford side, because you have the loading dock for Gertrude Ford right there, so you can stage all your stuff there. Yes, I would say yes, we can do the jersey with the bike path. On that side, if we could move to getting a sidewalk installed there, just because of the length of the project, that would just, we look like geniuses if we did that.
Okay, is that a motion?
Yeah, that's a motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, consider a request from F&F Construction to close the sidewalk in front of the Regions Bank Building at 158 Courthouse Square to clean the building exterior on either September 3rd through the 5th or September 24th through the 26th.
Yes, ma'am. They are looking to reserve 2 parking spaces in front of Regions Bank. They'll have to sheet the front of the building off. Obviously, they pressure wash it to keep the overspray from getting on cars and getting on opposing businesses. And their intent is to use those reserved parking spaces as a pedestrian detour for people to get around the front of that building while they do that work.
2 going to be enough? See how you
They-
can divert a sidewalk in 2 places when they have more than 2 places in front of the bank?
I'll verify that with them, but he said 2 would be all that they needed.
I mean, as long as they have the diversion through
Yeah.
that, I'm good with it. That's a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Consider a request from W.G. Yates and Sons to close the sidewalk along the north side of Hopkins Drive adjacent to the Citizen Bank construction site for approximately the next year.
A lot of sidewalk closures going on.
Well,
So-
I mean, there are people building
Yeah.
high rises and not closing sidewalks. Now we're going to have to close one for a year to build a 1-story bank?
So I did reach out to this guy after our meeting earlier this week, Mayor, and he said that it would not be a year. He said the project would likely last a year, but they would not have to keep the sidewalk.
Well, can he come back with a realistic request then? For how long
Absolutely.
he really needs it instead of saying a year if he doesn't need a year?
I've been asking him today. He's not reached back out to me, but I can get that answer from him. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see any sense in making a motion to allow to close it longer than it needs to be closed. He should have enough of a plan to know what he needs and come back. All right, there's a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to enter into a service contract with Urban SDK. John?
Urban SDK is a cloud-based platform that gathers and submits traffic-related data such as speed, volume, accidents, turning movements at intersections, things like that, that we normally have to put out a machine counter to do now, or in the case of turning movements, we have to sit out there and physically count them because we don't have a camera machine to do that. What we are looking to do is we get a lot of speed study requests through our office, stacks of papers that are high, and because we only have one machine, we're really only able to handle one request at a time. Urban SDK would allow us to do these speed studies and do reports almost instantaneously. And they do use cell phone data, GPS data from vehicles to obviously collect all of this. So there's that aspect of it. But what we're asking is permission for, first of all, this is not something that's been budgeted yet. We've requested in the upcoming budget. So this is not something that would happen before October the 1st. But in order to lock in the price and get some free onboarding, what we'd like to do as soon as that budget is approved, to get the mayor to sign the agreement and get it to them so we can get that taken care of. So that's why we're requesting this a little bit early, so we can turn that around to them pretty quickly.
I think this is a great idea. It's a complaint I get about a lot. I don't see anywhere in here that it talks about like solutions for where they see to be the problem areas. Is that something that they provide at the end of a study, or like what would help the speeding in this area?
Well, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's left up to
right.
the traffic engineer, but
Right.
he's gotta have the
Yeah.
data.
Yeah, so they give me the numbers, then I will provide you the solutions.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
All right, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, request permission to approve change order number 1 for the Oxford Regional Water Supply Haley Well number 2 project.
So this is the one going down on South 16th Street currently. After we started the project and dug the test well, we realized that in order to meet our flow rates, we needed to increase the size of the well and the screen from a 16-inch to a 24-inch. And that's going to increase the cost of this project by almost $90,000. This project is being funded by the Core 592 program, which is a 75-25 federal local match. So there will be some reimbursement for a portion of this. But in order for us to reach our goals and get our money's worth out of this well, we really need to make this change.
Move we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Consider a recommendation to accept the proposal from Distinctive AFWS Designs, Inc. for the flood threat recognition system.
So this is machinery that we will place in streams around town, Bernie Branch, Bailey Branch, streams where we have high flows. This is from a FEMA hazard mitigation grant, so it's a 90-10. It's been budgeted for this year. We finally got proposals in, so we're asking for you guys to approve this so we can get this machinery in and get it installed. Ideally, what it does is it uses radar and cell data to detect when flow reaches a certain level, and then it issues an alert that we would turn around and issue to the community. So it's actually a flood warning system, so to speak.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, I'll ask the board to consider an executive session.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? The board will now consider an executive session. Thank you.